Good morning, good morning. This is Miss JJ, Jacqueline Richardson, Deja, Jackie, whatever y'all call me. I woke up this morning to hear some bad numbers. It don't sit with me well. This morning I want to talk about the children. I've got notice that over 100 children has been shot in Philadelphia. Now, for those that don't know about Private Friend Incorporated, we started in Maryland. We went to Philly. And when we came from Philly, we went back to Maryland. And then we went to Charlotte here. It's hard for me to think this morning, y'all, because, me coming from a lifestyle of where my little brother lost his life, it really gets to me when I hear about children losing their lives for something that they didn't even do. And it's just hard for me, y'all, mentally and physically, to deal with the situation. However, sometimes you got to do things that you don't want to do, and right now I have to speak out on this, Now, I want to explain something to these murderers, Okay, you like the gangster life, you want to kill niggas, okay, that's up to you, okay? But when you out mentally, and this is where I'm starting to feel like there's more mental illnesses that's going on with these people versus them trying to just kill one person and then they're shooting kids in crossfires. It's gotta be. I can't see people just going out like on a rampage, shooting somebody. Kids is there and they're not thinking twice about their actions. Okay. Number one, okay, and this is all these supposed to be gangsters, because gangsters don't kill kids. They don't kill women and they don't kill children. Okay, so I need to get to the bottom of this. And this is why, I'm calling on the Muslims, I'm calling on the Chinese, and I'm calling on the Italians when it comes to Philly. This is y'all city, and y'all need to come together and find out what's going on with these people that's killing these children. For one, why was these children even outside when we got COVID going on? This is what part that I don't understand. Okay, so that's bugging me too. These children shouldn't even been outside. That's number one. At least half of them. Okay, I'm not saying all, but at least half of them. Two, these people that's going out killing. Okay, you have no remorse on, and let me go back a little bit. I understand how sometimes people can make you want to kill them because they are so bothersome. They are so arrogant. They can mistreat you, take your lives from you, okay? And I've been there. I go through it almost every day of my life, okay? Where people is just stripping me of things that that I've worked for or I needed, or you understand what I'm saying? But this is where discipline comes in at, okay? Now, this is why I need to call out on the Muslims, because this means that these brothers that's going out there shooting, they don't have no discipline. Okay, so it's time that y'all start doing a little bit more recruiting, because y'all are one of the masters at discipline in your religion. Okay, so I'm calling out on you guys, to start talking to these young, because they have to be young that's going out doing this dumb stuff, because ain't nowhere in the world grown ass man is gonna go. Excuse me, I'm sorry I cursed, and I'm not supposed to. I'm sorry, y'all. There's nowhere in the world a grown man that done lived life, whether he's did time or not, will go out there and just start shooting crazy and wild. Okay? There's nowhere possible. Okay? Even if he is a murderer. Okay? Because jail also teaches you discipline. Okay? So, with that being said, that these must be young people that's just wilding. And this is where we need the Muslims to step in right now. We need y'all right now to step in because y'all are great. Like I said, y'all are the greatest when it comes to discipline. Okay? The Chinese, I need y'all to step in right now because that's also y'all city. And the Italians, this is y'all city as well. So y'all got to come together and meet and talk about what's the next step because these kids can't keep dying. These people are not disciplined enough to even hold a gun and shoot their target. And I'm not saying it's right for any man to shoot anybody and kill anybody. But I've been there where you want to just take somebody out. But you got to be disciplined enough to know when there's children around, you walk away, that man get a pass for that moment. And it's not right to kill anybody because y'all know I'm a Christian, so I don't believe in that anyway. But sometimes people will get you to that point, and I understand. But you got to be disciplined enough to say, not while these babies is out here. Let me tell you something. I grew up in one of the biggest areas in the Bronx. Okay, Cortland Ave. Y'all see me shout it out all the time. That is my home. 35 years. When I was born in St. Luke's Hospital, they took me home to that house on 15371 East 153rd Street. They took me to that house when I was born. Then they moved me to Harlem, and then I came back. 35 years of my life, that was the area that I lived in. And it was plenty of murders, but you never heard about children. Because when a person was out to get you because of something you've done, they're waiting on you. I don't give a damn if they had to wait a whole year. They gonna get you. They will not. And this is how disciplined they were. Okay? They will not just start firing and there's people out there. Shout out to Cortland. You know, we lost a lot of good ones. And it hurts me to even talk about it. But they always made sure that the kids were safe. That the kids was taken care of. Where y'all think I get all this from? Save the kids. This comes straight from the Bronx, the BX. Because this is what we were taught to do. Protect the children. No matter how much they were wilding, they took care of the kids. The mothers took care of the kids. The drug dealers took care of the kids. The drunks took care of the kids. The murderers looked out for the kids. It was all about the kids. And here it is, 30 years later, I'm hearing it's like people have a target on the kids. And it's not my home. It's not the BX. It's not the Bronx. I heard Brooklyn. I heard Philly. And it was happening in Baltimore as well. And it's been happening in Baltimore. But it has to stop. Now, Baltimore, y'all a very diverse city. So y'all just have to come together and meet and figure out what y'all need to do about these kids that don't have no discipline. Because that's what I think it is. It's they don't have any discipline. Their anger just take off. And you have a fight, you lose the fight, you go home. They want to come back with a gun. Somebody steals something, they want to kill them. But it's a time and place for everything. Even with God. Don't y'all pay attention? Even though everybody's acting crazy, God ain't striking back right away. He does things in time. You have to have patience and discipline in anything you do. So these same people that's going out here shooting others and missing their target to shoot these kids don't have no discipline, don't have no self-worth. They don't even have love for themselves. So this is where I'm seeing that we need elders to start coming out and teaching. Okay? They have to start coming out and teaching. See what's wrong with these young brothers, that they don't have no discipline. And they're not, they in so much rage that they can see a kid playing and still fire a gun. People, it just hurts my heart. When I came to Charlotte, it was the worst time of my life. Okay. It was 2 kids when I first came here. One I didn't know and one I did know. One was a male and one was a female. And they both got killed here in Charlotte. And it kind of shut me down for over a year mentally. Okay? Because I needed to understand why. I understand that people can be disrespectful. I understand people can be mean. But why is it you have to kill? It's what I'm trying to get to. Especially a child. Distance yourself. Now, this person keep coming at you. I can understand. That's where that bullying and stuff coming at. And we'll talk about that again another day. But I just don't get it. What is going on in these people's minds? Okay? And this is why we have to teach them discipline. Discipline. A lot of the times when these kids are growing, they don't even understand what's going on in their bodies. Okay? And the reaction of chemicals, sometimes it's messed up in their brains. And sometimes some of them need medication to really help them. However, sometimes these people just need to be taught, and I personally, it's just so hard for me, y'all. It's so hard for me because I'm just trying to understand. Okay, 1 kid got shot. We had 1 crazy that went out, shot a kid in Brooklyn. 1 crazy. Okay? And that's what we're going to call him, a crazy. Okay? But here I am hearing 100 kids and more got shot or killed in Philly. So now you're telling me we got a bunch of crazies. Now see, this is the thing that pisses me off. Okay? Y'all will protest about the police killing somebody. But y'all won't protest about these crazies or these undisciplined people that's out here killing our children. So who looks crazy? I mean, you tell me. 100 children didn't even get to survive not being shot. Since when that's a part of growing up? When children are supposed to go to school, play outside, get some social life. Okay, nowadays they do the video games and the computers. Since when that was a part of growing up? Since when? Kids got a lot more to worry about. Especially if their parents are not disciplined and can't feed them or don't have a proper home for them to live in. So now being shot is a part of that. Come on, people. Y'all got to do something. Y'all got to do something. Y'all got to come together. This is where unity comes in your city. And y'all have to say enough is enough. And these crazies got to be stopped. That's just what it is. Just like the police got to be stopped from killing people. These crazies that we got running around got to be stopped as well. Oh, or was y'all out there protesting for fame? Because it was only 5 people that got killed by the police. But it's 100 kids that got shot by the streets. So I need to know, you know what I'm saying? I need to understand how y'all doing this. Because I'm confused. I'm real confused. Something has to be done. Okay, now, I don't know, y'all Muslims, y'all need to start recruiting more. I'm also calling out on the Masons. I'm sorry. I'm also calling out on the Masons because y'all everywhere. Y'all need to start snatching these young brothers up and showing them discipline. Kids are losing their lives. We're talking 100 children that could have been doctors, lawyers, military, athletes, and maybe even a president. And now, these kids has been tortured and tormented. They may not even want to be in public anymore. Now, I want y'all to understand what these children might have to go through mentally to deal in everyday life now because somebody decided they wanted to shoot them. They might have to deal with anxiety. Forget about the pain of the bullet. Okay? Now, this is where the mental torment coming at for the rest of their lives. Now, we got 100 kids, some that done passed away, and those that are still alive that's going to have mental disabilities because of these people. They're going to be afraid. They're going to have anxiety. Why do we want to put and conflict pain on our youth? I need answers, people. I need to understand y'all because I'm confused. I'm confused. I got my brother Meek Mill out here. He's trying hard, and he can't do it by himself. He's trying to teach these kids. He's trying to help. But he need help. He can't do it alone. Just like I couldn't do it alone either. And that's why I gave up. However, God put it in my heart this morning when I heard that I had no other choice but to say something, because this is what I represent. I represent the children because of what I went through as a child. You know, I laugh at people when they say, you know, my mama didn't feed me. But they mama used to get food stamps. At least she would go buy some food. My mother worked every day. And when she went to work, she kept her money and went and got high with it. I used to have to eat rice because my mother would always buy a big bag of rice. That's all we would have. White rice. That's what I grew up on, living in my mother's home. I didn't have a bed living in my mother's home. Now, I know a lot of y'all might have read the book, Want to Survive and Thrive. And for those that didn't, y'all need to. So y'all can understand what I went through and why I feel this way about the children. Y'all talk about roaches everywhere. Imagine going to your sink and you want a spoon and it was nothing but maggots in there. You know, I didn't want to get this too deep about my life because, you know, I love my mother and she turned her life over, you know, and she changed. But when people be talking about what that life was about, you know, sometimes I laugh at them and say, you ain't been through nothing. Oh, my mama was on welfare. Well, thank God that your mama went and got you a check, because my mama didn't. I had to go pack bags to eat dinner at night. Okay? So I laugh at y'all when y'all constantly talking about the life that y'all lived. And then I laugh at the people that hate on me now because they don't even know where I came from. But this is why I fight for the children, because I had a hard life as a child. A very hard life. And death was involved. So it hits me hard. And I feel some kind of way about it. Because kids don't deserve the pain. They have enough pain dealing with everyday life, trying to figure out the chemicals going on in their body for them to grow, let alone have to worry about going outside and something bad happens to them. Do y'all know what I go through every day in my life because of my torment? No, y'all don't. Every now and again, I deal with anxiety. Every now and again, I deal with depression. And it's because of what I went through as a child. And this is how I know what these kids are going to go through. Because I go through it myself. People, you have to come together and save these children. Because then all you're going to have is a bunch of children growing up either sick and being the same way the target, when they were targeted, they're going to turn out to be the same way. Because in their mind, they're going to say, why me? Do you understand why we need to save the children? Because they're the next generation. And then they're going to say, why me? So, for every person that think it's okay to go out there and not be disciplined enough to not target a child, look what you just created. If you get caught, you're going to do probably life. And you created major torment and torture on another person's life and family, which is going to create a domino effect. Okay? If for those that don't know what a domino effect is, I'll explain it to you. It's when you have one issue conflict onto another issue. You know, when you line dominoes up and you hit one and they all fall one by one. That's what a domino effect is. Okay? That one issue can conflict a person's life for the next 20, 30 years. From a child being shot. Okay, now y'all follow me. And outside, been shot. Mentally, they dealing with it. Okay, the pain, they got past that part. Okay, now they're dealing with the mental issue of, if I go outside, I'm going to get shot, so now I need to stay inside. So now they're not going to have no social life. Okay, finally they get past that. Then they have a social life. They meet a husband, wife, whatever the case may be. Get married. Now they have a child. Now they conflicting their pain on that child because of what they've been through. Okay? And then now their child is going to conflict whatever pain that their parents went through on their friends, their family, and so forth, so on. That's what a domino effect is. So when we create torture and torment in a child's life, we're creating generational domino effects. Meaning it's going to last for a long time until somebody breaks it. So when you think about creating pain on people, think about what you're going to do for years to come. I mean, come on, y'all. I mean, when are y'all going to get it? And I hold everyone responsible, every human being. Because we have to continue to teach. We realize we might have been through things. I've been through things. I just told y'all what I've been through. Y'all read it in the books, what I've been through. So I'm no different from y'all. I've been beat by 10 police officers. These are facts. My brother died in my arms from being raped and molested. I was tormented by being put in a room for 7 days, sleeping on the floor. Some movie shit. Excuse me, I'm sorry again. But this was real life. What people go through, even though it seems like a movie. It's real. And it affects you mentally, physically, the way you deal with everyday life. So why do we want to continue to put these problems on these kids? And these are the same kids that has to grow. You might get out of 100 kids, I think it might be 20 or 30 that died. Okay, I'm not sure of the statistics on that. But even so, I want to break down the numbers to you. Okay? If I'm going to say half of them passed away, the other half still got to live. And they're going to be going through things. Now, y'all say 50 people may not be a lot to y'all. But that's 50 people that's going to create other people. And that 50 people can turn into 200 people or more that's going to go through a generational pretty much curse because of one person not being disciplined. So do y'all get it? I need y'all to sit down and think about this. Now, one person that's been hurt or tormented is going to have a family. And whatever they've been through, they're going to conflict it on their offspring. So forth and so on. And this is what you're going to create. Oh, we don't have one? We don't have two? We got 50. That's going to multiply. I'm trying to break this down. You know, I used to get real angry. You know, I can't get angry no more because it bothers me. You know, it affects my body. So I can't get angry. I get sad inside because usually I go off and be cursing and flipping out and everything else, you know. But I can't go there no more because it affects me and I love me more than anybody. You know, so with that being said, this is where people have to learn what we create. We create for years to come. So y'all need to think about what y'all do before y'all do it. Y'all need to have discipline. Discipline is a great factor of life. Okay? We all have to learn discipline. In order to go to school, you have to have discipline. To work a job and keep it, you have to have discipline. To be a rapper, you have to have discipline. To be a lawyer, you have to have discipline. To be a president, you have to have discipline. To be a police officer, you have to have discipline. It don't matter who you are. To be a military employee, you have to have discipline. Now, military employees are paid to kill. But they still have to have discipline. The federal government pays them every week, every 2 weeks, every month. I don't know how to get paid. To kill if needed. But they still have to have discipline. Now, we would be mad if one didn't have no discipline and came out here and started killing people all over the place. And I'm just using this as an example, people. Yeah, granted, we got to protect ourselves. And I get it. Sometimes people just do stuff and you want them gone. They won't stop. But you have to have discipline. And it's just what it is. We can't be a city or a country that's just gone wild. We don't want to be like Africa and the rest of these. Shout out to Africa. You know I love y'all guys. I love y'all so much. South Africa, y'all already know why. But the point that I'm trying to make is we don't want to be like that. Where the army is on every corner. We have to show ID to go into our own homes, to go to work, to go shopping. Do y'all want to be like that? I don't want to be like that. So people, we got to get to work. I just want to say a little prayer before this podcast is over. Jehovah God, I come to you and I ask you to cover all these kids in America, Jehovah God. Matter of fact, around the world, the whole globe, Jehovah God. I ask you to cover them in the blood of Jesus. They don't deserve the pain that they're going through. Even though some pain, Jehovah God, teaches us how to be strong. But it can also teach us to fold, Jehovah God. And make us weak, Jehovah God. Pain should be given when a person is able to hold that pain, Jehovah God. And some of these kids are not ready to hold the pain, Jehovah God. So I ask you to just cover them in the blood of Jesus. Cover us all in the blood of Jesus. And put it in people's hearts, Jehovah God, to come out and stand up for these kids, Jehovah God. You know, I'm asking you to just please help us. Because things is getting worse by the day, Jehovah God. I ask you all this in your Son, Jesus Christ's name. Amen. I had to say a prayer because I got to give it to God right now because I can't do nothing about it. You know, because I'm not up north, you know, anymore. I'm down here in the south, you know, and we trying to get unity down here, you know. I'm actually at the point now. I'm starting to like it here. You know, it took a while, you know, but I'm starting to like it here, you know, because the people came together and did what they needed to do to make things happen. You know, a lot of people had this bad thing about the South, you know, because of what happened in the past and slavery and all that other stuff. However, if they don't read their history, they're not going to know what really went down. You know what I mean? And, you know, not only read their history, if they haven't experienced it, you know. My people is from the South. They're from Florida. So, you know, I've had a lot of stories within me a long time ago. And I'll tell y'all some of them stories one day. However, being here in the South, financially, it might be a little bit hard. You know what I mean? However, overall, the people are all right. You know what I mean? And we try to come together to help and to support one another, you know. So that's something that I love, you know, because that's when I would talk about Cortland Avenue. This is what we did on Cortland Avenue in the Bronx, in New York City. We always came together and helped each other. You know, they got everybody now doing these book bag drives and all this other stuff, you know. And I'm glad that they're doing it because let me tell you something. Back on Cortland Avenue, we started that 30 years ago. Okay, where we was going to get we wasn't doing book bags at the time, but we would go get school supplies to help the kids that didn't have. Okay, and I stand on that. Shout out to my son's father. He helped me with my first back to school barbecue. You know, so we've been doing these things for a long time. See, in New York City, you have no other choice but to come together. Because there's so many of us. This is why I call out on the Muslims, because it's a lot of y'all. I call out on the Masons because it's a lot of y'all. And when y'all stand together about a situation, your voices will be heard. The Chinese as well. Because y'all play a big part in New York and Philly. Things got to stop. The Italians too. They run Jersey. They run Philly. And they run New York. So y'all got to work together. I got to work together. I'm trying my best to get back up north, y'all. I'm trying. But it's just so hard, And I'll talk about that another day. But the main factor of this is y'all have to come together and see what's going on in y'all city and why. Once again, this is Miss JJ Diamond, Jacqueline Richardson, Jackie, Deja, whatever y'all call me. The woman with a bunch of names. But I love y'all all. And please, I'm asking y'all, we can't have these kids dying, y'all. They are our future. We can't have these kids mentally messed up. They are our future. We sit back and we talk about the generation that's coming up right now. Why they're the way they are. They're the way they are because nobody did anything. So it's time now. Okay, we don't want to have to work on the alpha generation. We're hoping that the alpha generation get it by the time. And we're saying we don't want a perfect generation because everybody got to own their generation. My generation was different from the next generation. And that's how it's going to be. But it's just certain things that didn't exist in the generation. And they're starting to add things in the generations. And we have to stop it. Just like when your child do something bad, what you do? You go and you tell them to whoop your tail because you need to stop it. Yeah, we can't grab niggas off the street, and start beating them up. But we can figure out what's the problem and get to the bottom of it. I love y'all all again. Y'all all take care. Have a wonderful day. This podcast is concluded.